That wasn't me. Hello. Oh, we started? Next color pen. Hi, it's Betty! Hello. Hello. Hi, world. Hi. How are you today?
I'm so proud. My top set
Have a
student.
good day.
Right, so let's go through quickly then. How would you tell me what an expression was? How would you tell me?
It's an equation without value.
With a value.
What?
What? No.
Any other suggestions? What
An expression is a set of instructions that has no value.
Okay.
Okay, so I was on the right track.
So it's just the set of instructions. Okay. An equation is an expression with a value.
Are we ready?
That's all right. You don't have to write those. Okay. Now a term or terms. Okay. Anyone already know what a term is? You've got that?
Is it kind of like is it like a word or a set of words that mean something?
Although we're using algebra, so it wouldn't be words, but okay.
Symbols?
Symbol, well, letters, symbols could be, but it depends what. We've got to be more specific, maybe.
Like art discussing, but like usually like terms would be like when you do something you have to like stay to like the set of like rules and something.
Okay, well, I would say a term, or it does abide by the rules, but it's not really what it is. I would say maybe sticking with this line, a term is, well, in an expression you might have more than one instruction. So you might therefore have more than one term to your expression. So you'll understand more when we see it, but we'll say it's different parts of the expression. Okay, and we'll look at it in a minute. Okay. Now, like terms are terms using the same variable. And when I say variable, you might say the same what? Symbol or letter. Yeah. Okay. So an example. There's an expression. There's an expression for you because it's got no equal sign. So it has no value at the moment. It will only have a value when I give the variables value. Okay. So going back to our language thing, who could say that in English rather than in maths? Ava, go on, give it. What would you say? Well, that's a bit too mathsy for me. Say in actual normal English, can you? Go on.
3x.
That's the same thing. What does 3x mean? Go on, give it a go.
3 times x.
Still X. Go on, Andrew.
3 times value. Like number.
Okay.
Variable.
Now, a number. 3 times.
Plus 2 times another number.
Yeah.
Plus 8.
That's it, isn't it?
Or wouldn't it be
Plus
term plus term?
No.
Plus term.
No, we wouldn't say that. No one. What?
It could be Rex plus boy plus.
No. So it would mean you take a number, but I want to say it in a long-winded way. Take a number, multiply it by 3. Take another number, multiply that by 2. Add those two together, then add 8. Right? So that's why it's a set of instructions. I'm telling you what to do. Alright? I'm saying, find one number, multiply it by 3. Find another number, multiply it by 2. Add those two together, then add 8 at the end. Okay? So, how many terms are there to that?
Are there 2?
Nope.
Three?
Oh! 3 terms. There are 3 terms.
There's a 3 to it.
Right, so actually the 3 terms are separated by, we've got x's, we've got y's, and we've got numbers with no variable. Okay, so there are the 3 terms. Right, and in this case we have 3 different terms. Now it's important that we know the difference between the 3 and the 8. So the 8 is a number, the 3 is what we call a coefficient of the term. A coefficient. Okay? 2 is another coefficient because it's not really a number, it's what you do to the number when you get given it. Do you understand the difference? Whereas the 8 is the number 8. You have to add 8.
Yeah, so it's nothing else. So with 2 is
Yeah, so 3 is a coefficient, 2 is a coefficient. Now, what I'm trying to get you to do, a lot of people get confused and they want to add the 3, the 2 and the 8 together. But you can't do that. And that's what we'll talk about collecting like terms. Because the 3 is not a number, it's a coefficient. It's an instruction. We could also say it's an instruction here.
But, so, a coefficient is, like, what's the definition?
So, what I'm talking about, it's like an instruction, isn't it? It's like, it's 3 times. It's not 3. It's 3 times something. It's an instruction. It's telling you what to do. Whereas 8 is just a number.
I get it. It's what you do with the numbers.
Yes, exactly.
So, yeah, you do 3 to the number, 3, 8, y,
Yeah.
and the 8 is just itself. It's a number next to it. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not,
exactly.
multiplying something 8 and dividing it by 8. It's just.
Yeah. So if you can get that into your head, that coefficient is not actually a number in its own right, it makes sense that you can't add them together when we do the next bit. Okay?
Like 2y is like 2 times y or...
So the 3 terms are plus 3x is one term, plus 2y is another term, and plus 8 is another term. So the sign before the letter, the term, goes with that term.
So we don't have one.
But
But it's positive.
But it is.
0 plus.
yeah, you could say 0 plus, exactly. That's a good way of doing it, actually. I've never thought of doing that. Yeah, we could say 0, because what we start with, plus. So that would give you the plus 3x. It's a good way of doing
So then you
it.
would have...
No, we don't, because we've gone 0, we add 3x, we add 2y, we add 8. We don't need to say 0 plus every time, do we? Just, okay? Make sense? So...
Do you have to break it down?
No, this is basics. You'll get past this in a minute. 2x minus 3y
Is this another example?
minus 5. Yeah, this is another example. Example 2. So how many terms?
3.
3 terms. What are they? Is your hand up or down? It keeps going. What? Go on then.
Plus 2x
Yeah.
minus 3y minus 5.
Okay. And there's a reason why it's nice to think of it like the sign goes with the term, is because now I can rewrite them in any order. So I could write this as minus 3y plus 2x minus 5. Or I could write it as minus 5 plus 2x minus 3y. It's all the same thing. Because you can just, and that's another important point. The sign goes with the term, sticks together.
So, like, why did you?
I've just rearranged them.
But they'll still be the same answer.
It's the same thing. If I told you what x and y was now,
You could get it.
all those three would give you the same value.
They would, but
They would.
something like
Try it.
Wait, so how would
Pick a value for x, pick a value for y, and then work out what the value would be. So,
Wait, how can
Would
I
they be
find it?
negative then?
well, pick a value for x. X can be what?
No, because like 2. Any number.
Any number.
5 becomes a negative now? Yeah, but
Not
there's minus
necessarily.
5.
But it did. Example 2, minus 5. It was always a minus 5. Okay? So, for instance, if I were to now turn my expression into, give it a value, I could do it by substituting, do you remember we said, a value for x and a value for y. So if we substitute,
Y equals 2.
you want to use y equals 2, x equals
3.
5. Okay. So now we go 2 times 5, so I'm going to use this one here. 2 times 5 minus 3 times 2 minus 5 is what I'm going to do.
why?
But then you have to write it out.
So what's 2 times 5?
10.
Minus 6 minus 5 gives me an answer minus 1. So the value of it would be minus 1.
Wait, see it like that.
So you can check, if you use the same ones, do the other two give exactly the same value?
So, if we, wait, no. So the expression isn't like a sum. It's
The
telling me
expression
what
is
to
the
do.
set of instructions, what to
It's
do.
telling me what to do with the left.
Yeah. And x and y are called variables because but they can change. I can pick a completely different x and y if I like.
When did you
Wait.
write it to 5?
Here?
I mean 2x?
What do you mean 2x?
Like instead of 2 times 5.
Well, this is the thing. This is a bit, I've kind of skipped over how to write because I kind of think you know how to. 2x means what?
2 times.
2 times whatever x is. So because I've told you that x is 5,
That's
we do 2 times 5.
So
But
then-
what we don't, when we have numbers, we don't put the 2 and the 5 with no times. Why? It looks like 25. So we can do it when we've got a letter and a number, but when we've got 2 numbers, we have to put the time so we know what we're doing. What if we've got 2 letters? Put them next to each other.
Wait,
So it's only when we've got 2 numbers that we actually
if you
need
have
to.
like let's say yx and then you have to find the value of y and x and
Yeah.
then you times
Okay.
x so well.
So that would be a nice one to look at actually. Other expressions. Oh,
Wait, are we?
so other expressions, A, B, C. What does that mean you have to do?
Find
Find out
value.
A
times B times C.
Okay. X cubed.
X times X times X.
Okay. Here's a challenge for you. S plus S plus S.
S times 3 S 2 S over 2 S
S times 3 or
S2.
No, because that's 5 times 5 times. That's S times S times S.
how do I do it?
S3. 3S.
3s.
Yes. Numbers before letters.
Numbers before letters, yeah?
Why?
So I just want to write this, make sure that we say S times S times S would not be 3 times S. It would be S cubed. So this is an important point here. The difference between addition and multiplication. Got to be careful.
What's the X one?
Got to be careful.
Is that S? Okay.
That really is
Equals S cubed. So. Alright.
Wait, is there a highlight on there?
Yeah, what's your question?
Is that a strip of a thing?
That's a star, just to say important.
What is? So you already invented it first. No, what's a 5?
Why would
Wait, is that a 5 or an S? But I don't do it. It's not S.
Okay, right, what we'll do is on page 142, okay, page 142, exercise 7a, point 2.
Wait, you read all of that?
Well, what we'll do,
It's 7A.
okay, there's a careful here, right, just to check something, 4xy squared or 4xy squared.
Different.
Right.
You have to remember big math.
Okay, you have to remember big maths again. So this one would just be 4 times x times y if we expanded it. What would this one be?
Oh! Wait. 4x. No, 4 times x.
4 times x.
4 times x times y, and then that to the power of 2.
Okay, but we can
That's just,
explain even further. Go on.
oh, because the difference between is the first one, the squared sign belongs to the y, but
Yeah.
the second one, it belongs to the
So what can we do? We can take this further though. Anyone know
Oh.
what it means?
Is it 4 times X times Y times itself?
Which would be times.
4 times x times y.
So can we simplify that?
4 times 2.
Careful. A merit for the one that can do it. Correct. Okay, Laura puts on. Go on. So use without the times.
16. Do you want me to say
Keep going.
times?
No, I don't want time.
Okay. Dot 16 x squared y squared.
Perfect.
We get some merit.
Wait, I don't know.
Because I did this 4 16.
Right,
But
because
how do you know that x is 4?
because what we've got,
No, 4 times
you
4.
know, with multiplication can be done in any order, yeah? So actually I can rearrange my multiplying. So if I take over here, if I have 4 times x times y times itself again, do you all understand that bit?
Oh, so is it
Because
like
it's
4
squared.
times 4?
So then you can rewrite them in any order. So I'm going to do 4 times 4, which gets rid of,
And then x times x.
and then it's times x times x
times y times y.
times y times
Oh,
y.
so you have to do, for instance, in 16, then x to the power of 2, and then y to the... That makes sense.
Makes sense, Joe?
That makes so much. Then you multiply them all.
Write it all down.
You should write that, Megan.
I get it.
So the difference is here, the squared is only on the y. So that's why we've got that. Okay? But in this one, the squared is on everything. So that's why we've got 4xy times 4xy, because squaring means times it by itself. Okay? So that's actually a really important one, because it's one thing people get wrong later on in life as well, when doing their IGCSEs and things. It's a common mistake. So I'll write one now that is a very common one. See whether you can do it. So if I said to you, 2x cubed could be written how? Someone other than Laura, she was last one. Maddie.
That's a 2 and an I, right? It's an X.
2x.
Oh, it looks like a 29. So that would be 2. Wait. 2. That would be bracket 2 times X bracket 3. No, I'm not that confused. Oh, can I
I'm sure you paid full attention. Santasia.
2 times x times 2 times x times 2 times x.
Good.
Oh!
Which simplifies to? Anna. If I rewrite, it's 2 times 2 times 2 times x times x times x. What's 2 times 2 times 2?
8.
8. And this?
X to the power of 3.
X.
And, yeah.
That's it. Yeah?
So, but is that because that would be different. I know.
Could it not be right? Okay, let's just check.
The bottom part can't be.
Let's just check then.
That it's in the-
If
Yeah, you.
x equals,
There we go. There's 1, 2.
let's say x equals 2. Right, what is the value of 2x all cubed? Well, it would be 2 times 2 all cubed,
But there are
which would be 4 cubes. What's 4 cubes? That's 4 times 4 times 4. Anyone tell me what the answer is?
30. No. 32. No. 6 times 4. 64.
64.
Oh, yeah, so that's right.
Let's check then. What about 8 times x cubed? That would be 8 times 2 cubes, which is 8 times 8, which is 64. So it is the same. Yeah?
I like to understand because I didn't realize that x equals 2. I didn't realize that.
Oh no, x could be any number.
But it would still be this.
You still get the same result. Yeah.
I thought that like makes it.
So, for instance, if I pick a different one, what about x? Let's make it harder for you. Minus 1. So we've got 2x cubed would be 2 times, and I use brackets because I've got a negative, cubed. So that would be 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Negative 2 cubed is negative 8. And then what about 8x cubed? So 8x cubed would be 8 times negative 1 cubed. And negative 1 cubed is?
Negative 1.
Negative 1. So 8 times negative 1.
It's negative 8.
So,
I like it.
but you get the same answer with both things because the way we've worked on it. This is quite high level. So I think it's higher than what's in the book, what we're looking at. Yeah.
What level is it?
But as long as we have started.
Okay.
Wait, can you wait sweet my
Yeah. It's also on the video, so you can finish up your notes afterwards, can't you? At home. Right. Let's have a bit more. So just 5 minutes. On page 143, you've got questions 3, 4, 5, 6. Pick one from each. Maybe pick the last one from each question and have a go. See whether you can do it. So question 3, 4, 5 and 6, just do the last one from each question. Do a couple quickly. Alright, just to check. So, just to check that everyone's there. So when it says product notation for question 3, so if we've started with t times 2 times s, product notation is just when you get rid of your times. But of course the 2, because it's the one thing we know, is called the what again? The coefficient. So we rewrite that as 2 goes first, TS, or S2. Yeah. Okay?
That's something like
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. First, second, yeah. Question 4. I said we've got x minus y times 2. Again, the rule is the coefficient comes first, and we don't write that, but the brackets, so it's just 2 brackets x minus y. It means the same thing. It's just the correct way of writing. It's like spelling for maths. Right, so, good question. In a test, would this be considered correct?
No, it could be.
It does depend. At your age, it does depend on which set I would be teaching. So if I asked you to write an expression that said one number take away another number, then multiply the answer by 2, this is what someone would write. But because you're the smart ones, I would expect it written like that. No. Okay, so again, in our English language, this expression is take 2 numbers. Actually, do you know what the word is for when you subtract? It's find the difference. Find the difference of the 2 numbers, multiply that result by 2 is what we would say. Okay? Question 5. We've got 3v squared minus 5w squared. It says write in expanded form, so that would just be
3v times
doing it.
3 times v times v takes away 5 times w times w.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. And question 6, okay, we've got 5 times a plus a times a. We've got to write it using index notation. What you saying, Annabelle? Pardon? Oh, you fell into the trap. You fell into the trap there. Oh, there you go. Exactly, 5a plus a squared. Now, this is a very important one. How many terms in this one?
1.
No.
2.
2 terms. What are the 2 terms? Go on. Okay, so this is an important one. Okay, remember we said like terms are when they've got the same letter. It's not always true because a and a squared are different. They can't go together. They're separate terms. Final question? Pardon? Is there a 1? Well, we could say 1 is a coefficient. We just don't write it because 1 times it doesn't do anything. That's all. So yes, you're right. It could have a 1 coefficient. Oh, 1. No, it's a 5 and a 1. So I guess 2. I get what you mean. Right. Okay. Have a good.